to more business.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey! Hot tub! I
blew my headphones up.
That's enough, we gotta look at you.
Hot
tub, gonna get you hot tub. I'm gonna make it wet. Say hot tub, rubber dub in the hot tub. Rubber dub, Chilling in the hot tub.
Yeah!
Really make me sweat.
Yeah!
Chilling in the hot tub.
Get in!
Really make me wet.
Yeah! Well. Hey, well, good morning and welcome to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. My twin brother's in town. He actually did the show yesterday, and Wildcat, he said you were mean to him yesterday.
Twin brother?
Yeah, Uncle Fester.
He took it. He was in here yesterday. He said you were rude to him.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he said he did a terrible job.
Probably because he looked like you.
Yeah.
Thought I was being rude to you.
Whatever. It is Wednesday, and
it's a wet Wednesday.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Legendary day today. Two studs in here, just having a great time. I do want to get into this, though, real quick.
That would be stud puppies.
Glenn, you are the man, myth, and legend, the Dr. Glenn Manley. And Brian is with us. Brian's everywhere. Afternoon show, mid-morning show, morning show.
Yeah.
Huntsville show. Are you going to be on Huntsville radio tomorrow?
Not on radio.
No.
TV.
Well,
TV.
Hopefully I'm not on TV.
You never know.
Huntsville,
You never know.
Warrant served.
Beware of.
That's right.
And before we get rolling, I do have to remind Brian that Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles is the heart of the South. And in baseball last night, did you hear about this? Southern Mississippi 3, Mississippi State 0.
Ooh.
Just saying.
I told you,
Just saying.
we care about charity.
Well, thank you.
Yes,
I think I think the game is played in Hattiesburg, actually. I could be wrong on that. But everybody's pumped up about that. Mississippi State got a great baseball program tradition, and Southern Mississippi getting a win was big. Now, we want you to do something. Everybody out there driving, listening, or whatever, going to school today, going to work, we want you to say a little prayer. Our good friend, I love this guy, Ron Movey, is having surgery this morning up in Atlanta. And matter of fact, I think he's doing it as we speak. So we'd ask you to say a little prayer for him that everything goes well, and the doctor's doing an incredible job.
Love you, Ron.
Yeah, pray for his healing, and he is going to be fine. I told him yesterday or last night we talked to him, I said, it doesn't matter what these doctors says. It's God's plan. It's what he says what counts. So keep him in your prayers. They're going through a lot right now. And I ask you also to pray for Michigan Eddie for his health.
Right.
He's doing better now, and hopefully he will continue to do so. And I would ask you to do this. If you would please do this. This trip to Polk County, God's country, down in Polk County, Florida, Auburndale, the Arnold Marlins world-famous soccer team is going down there to play for the state championship. We'd ask you if you can go by the high school, drop off $5, $10, $100, in Glenn's case, $1,000. If you can afford it, we ask you to please do it. They need the help. It's again, they looked it up. They got all the figures. This trip's going to cost them between $15,000 and $20,000 to go down there and stay and play for the state championship. So anything you can do to help, we'd certainly appreciate that. And speaking about the Arnold Marlins, Glenn Manley.
Yes, sir.
What about Coop Moss, baby?
Yes, sir.
Another record. He breaks another record. He now is the home run king of Arnold High School. 25 years. 25 years of baseball. He is the king of home runs. I think he's probably going to wind up being the king of strikeouts. Funk is the king right now.
Right.
I just got put in the Hall of Fame, and we shall see if he takes that. But great job. They got a big win. Another win. They're 2-0 versus Mosley this year is incredible. That doesn't happen every day. But we'll turn our attention over now to the man, the myth, the one and only, Dr. Glenn Manley. Glenn, what do you have for us today?
Well, I'm busy writing prescriptions right now, but I'll take care of this. So,
I need to examine
Sign a double.
Double, yeah. So double shot. My babies love. All right. Arnold 8, Mosley 5 last night. So congratulations. It's Bay 6, Freeport 1, and both of those teams are 3-0, and so now Bay is 4-0. I could not find North Behaven at Cottonwood. I think they don't keep score up there in the far north. But anyway, and then it was West Florida 6, Walton 1, and it was Sneed 7, Port St. Joe 4. It was Mariana 7, Florida High 4. Chipley got beat by Cottondale 7-0, and Vernon beats Monroe 20-10. And softball, Bay versus Gadsden County last night had to be rescheduled. The bad weather started over there first, and then last night North Behaven 4. This is girls softball at Crestview 2. It was Rickards 19, Rutherford 9. Port St. Joe 16, Mariana 5.
Wow.
It was Bozeman 5, Chipley 4. Pretty good rivalry there. And then I don't know how it's going to happen tonight, but the games in baseball tonight is supposed to be South Walton at Bozeman.
I don't think that'll happen.
And then softball is supposed to be South Walton versus Choctaw, and then Mosley versus Arnold in softball. Not sure that's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And then girls basketball.
Hey, go back, Glenn.
Yeah.
Arnold Mosley softball. Where's that game being played?
Arnold Mosley softball is going to be at let me see here. At Arnold.
At Arnold,
Yeah.
okay.
And in basketball last night, Rutherford Rams ladies, they keep on winning. 56 Rutherford.
Go, baby.
46 Newberry. And then also South Walton got defeated by Bowles. Imagine that, playing a private
all-star
school.
team.
Bowles
Yeah,
University.
65-43. And it was Holmes County 56J 50.
Good job, Holmes County.
Yeah, and Niceville 47, and I love this even better, Bertram Trail 32. So those are the guys that won in the. So congratulations.
Excellent job, Dr. Manley. Great job,
Congratulations
baby.
to everyone.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, softball.
Yep.
I don't even know the records yet, but I will say this: I know one school that's going to be really good in softball because he's is such a good coach and he got a great program. Their facilities are unbelievable. And that's Rick Green and Arnold. What about you, Bay Tornadoes? How do you think they'll be this year in softball?
Should be
softball?
improved with. We had a lot of young kids last year, and we have a pitcher with a little more experience. So that's going to be, it's going to be good. I think. I think the North Behaven and Arnold may be right there, just a cut above everybody else. But I think it's gonna be better this year.
Good
for everybody.
Brian, I want to ask, what's the talk out of your world, the swimmers and things like this?
World.
With all these, everything's changed. Every college athletics has changed. High school athletics have changed. People jumping schools, going here, going there. Mm-hmm. What are you hearing there for the future of? Is it going to be? Are we still going to have scholarships for swimming, golf, wrestling? I mean,
Well, it depends what day it is. I mean, literally, because a report will come out that NCAA is looking at offering 5 years, and then that'll be gone. And then the National Labor Relations Board just pulled their guidance that athletes should be considered employees, and if the Democrats take over the House and the Senate, maybe that changes in 2 years. I don't know. The problem is it's so fluid. If you're asking me my general thoughts based on the overall trend of things, I would guess that your non-revenue generating sports, unless they're protected by the NCAA, are going to, I don't know if they're going to completely go away, but they're probably going to turn into more of a club model within the university itself, and not be a scholarship-based entity. And I don't know that they'll be wrapped up into an employee type of situation because it's going to be a loss leader for the university. So I wouldn't say the future looks terribly bright long-term over the next, 5 to 10 years. It's probably fine in that, unfortunately, there are fewer roster spaces now than there were. However, there are more people on scholarship now than there were before. So the few that are getting scholarship are getting more money. The problem with that is in your sports like swimming and wrestling and a lot of that, they're recruiting internationally. So you're not just talking about American high school kids. You're talking about some of the best in the world.
Yeah.
So the opportunities for your high school athletes are diminishing that much more. Now, the hope is a lot of them are going to be now driven to Division II, Division III, where there may not be a whole lot of money or any money in some cases, but it might actually help those schools with enrollment and with resources.
Yeah.
And maybe we're going to have more programs that can offer a decent level of quality athletic programming for kids, but there's so much unknown. It's really hard to know for sure what's going to happen.
One of the reasons I asked you that, Lorelei Layton, they went up to University of Alabama to watch a gymnastic meet, which was incredible. They had a great experience, big crowd, big support. And their Eric Baker's, I think it's his cousin, and I don't know her married name. But she won. She was the first. They had a huge picture up there of her picture, a big plaque. She was the first female to ever win the Paul Bear Bryant Award, which is huge up there. It's the biggest award you can get. And you got to be a great athlete, great character, great everything to win this award. And again, her picture's up there and everything. Well, they go and they experience that, and they get pumped up about it. And then we're all in the future, we're like, well, is this one of the sports that's going to be cut? The coaches have to worry about their jobs. Then swimming, tennis, golf. These people love this stuff. They go there to get the scholarship. Are those days dead, gone, buried? We don't know.
Well, the thing
what happened to Title IX?
Well, Title IX still applies, and whether or not, that's one of the issues with making them employees is would it still apply or not? I mean, it would apply, and Title IX is not just athletic participation. There's a lot wrapped up in Title IX, so it wouldn't go away, but how it relates to athletic participation and scholarships, I don't know. But one of the things that all the sports that are, let's say, in jeopardy need to be considering if they haven't been already, they need to learn how to market their sports, honestly. Swimming has not done a great job of that outside of once every 4 years on the Olympics.
Yeah.
Does a good job. What gymnastics has done should be the model to follow because it has made gymnastics meets exciting. There's music playing.
On TV, SEC fun. Network.
But here's what, so 20 years ago, gymnastics in college were the kids who couldn't hack it, on the national team level. Or they were too old, or they were, whatever. It wasn't a big thing. It was basically a participatory thing. I know I'm going to anger some people, but that's the truth. What they have done is they have successfully marketed that sport, made it more alluring. They've gotten some of the national team athletes to actually come to college, like Suni Lee at Auburn and things like that. It has made it a very spectator-friendly sport. So of all the sports that may get cut, gymnastics may be one of the last ones because they've made themselves actually have some level of income and excitement to it.
Glenn, baseball, softball, no problem. They're too big. They're making money. Right. Softball's growing. I mean,
softball's another one that's marketed itself well over the last 20 years.
Now, what about, y'all don't think I'm crazy. If you're a coach, you'd be worried right now. You have to be like our future, especially if you're a younger coach. If we're going to even have a job. What's going to happen with this NIL, profit sharing? They're going to make cuts. They're going to have to do something. What about track? Track's big, Olympic sport, but that costs money. It doesn't make money. But they're on TV. I see them on the SEC.
Track's very similar to swimming.
Arkansas's won all those championships, Texas. I mean, what do you think about Auburn used to have a great track program. What do you think about track? Is that one something?
I think track will survive. The things I worry about is like tennis, golf, beach volleyball, things, some of those things. That's what,
The one thing I will say about those sports, beach volleyball, not so much. Tennis, golf, swimming all have pretty solid foundational club programs throughout the United States. Junior golf for golf, tennis, you've got USTA kind of stuff, swimming's got USA Swimming. So it can survive, and they could move into that, and the club programming could expand. It obviously won't be tied to the college experience. But it's doable. Beach volleyball is going to be a little bit tougher in that they don't have that kind of club element yet developed behind it. But
it's going to be interesting going forward what happens. I feel bad for a high school athlete now in any sport because you're not competing with the parents always thought they're competing with people with Bay County, the Panhandle. Right. No, football scholarship, you're competing across the country, and now you're competing against other college athletes. Yeah. I mean, it's just tough to get a scholarship this day and time.
The other thing, too, is everybody dreams that they're going to all go to Alabama, Florida State, Georgia.
I did. Yeah.
And the thing is, we've had some kids go to the D2 schools and everything, and they're in small towns, and the whole town comes out, and they all know your name. Oh, yeah. And,
there's nothing wrong Division III, Division II.
Here's the thing. If you can play if you the NFL will find you if you can play.
I think Division III is going to turn out to be a farm league to the Division I players. They go there, do well, they can possibly get picked up. Anyway, let's take a break. We get back. We've got the man, the myth, the legend, Coach Hudson, Bay High School. But right now, let's talk about some other legends we have, like Chuck Tucker, South Oak Tile and Closing. Nobody does like Chuck Tucker. They have expanded throughout the Panhandle of Florida. The big realtors, I'm talking huge accounts, multi-million-dollar sales, they're going to use South Oak Tile and Closing because they want the best. They don't want any surprises. They want it done correctly always. South Oak Tile and Closing, that's what you're going to get from Chuck Tucker. They do an incredible job. The legendary, this is my favorite day, the legendary J. Michael's Restaurant on Thomas Drive will be packed out at lunch and dinner. You know why? World famous J. Michael's Spaghetti, only on Wednesday. But if you want that best seafood, the coldest beer, it's the legendary J. Michael's. Come meet us today. We love J. Michael's. We love J. Michael's Studios. Also, it's going to get really, really cold tomorrow, right? The weather's going to drop big time. If you got Stevenson Air Conditioning, it doesn't matter how cold it is outside or how hot it is outside. We got Stevenson Air Conditioning. You should too. Get it serviced about every 6 months. If you got an old one, get rid of it. It's one of the few things you actually purchase to pay for itself. The legendary Stevenson Air Conditioning. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. It's Manly Day, Bay High School. They're thinking about changing the name of Bay High School to Glen Manly.
I know.
We'll let you know more about that later.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the most college basketball.
Three-pointer, punch it in. College basketball is back.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
The SEC, ACC, and beyond.
Oh, you saw that coming,
The biggest games play right here.
East West Florida. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Wednesday. For this afternoon and evening, clouds and a high of 56 with a moderate breeze at 14 miles per hour out of the north. Tonight, some clouds with lows around 39. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a moderate breeze and a temperature near 50. Moving into Friday, about the same with a high of 52 and mostly sunny. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Discover Kia at Billburn Kia during the President's Day sale going on all month long. Are you looking for a fuel-efficient SUV that doesn't compromise on style, comfort, and performance? Stop in today at Billburn Kia and let our team put you behind the wheel of your new Kia. Billburn Kia is now offering 1.9% APR for up to 60 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento. Billburn Kia is the home of that 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us today at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento with $1,748 per month per $1,000 finance in 60 months. Qualities limited, cannot be combined with other finance offers. Not available on balloon financing. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Billburn Kia warranty. See dealer for complete detail. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 3/3/25.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Bonafide and qualified.
Live and local from the J. Michael Studio.
Certified.
From the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Bum. And welcome back. The legendary 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, home of the Auburn Tigers. Cannot wait. Auburn basketball is going to do something special. I can feel it. I don't know about them. I don't know about these Kentucky fans. I'm just not sure about. And we got one on the phone.
Hey,
did they win last night? Did they play last night? Does it matter?
It matters. No,
okay. All right. I knew when Bay High, it wouldn't matter when you hire Hudson, wherever. I don't care what school you're at, what principal, wherever, what state. It doesn't matter. You hire Hudson, he's going to win. There's no question about that. The question is, how long does it take him to win? And we got him on the phone right now. I want to ask him this. Coach, how you doing this morning?
Man, I'm doing great. Good morning.
Good morning. The question to you is, and I meant that, wherever you go, you always won. So there was no question you would turn a program around. The question would be, how long is it going to take you to do it? Have you turned the corner? I mean, right now, I know it's early. You're undefeated. You're playing well. Have you guys turned the corner? Have you got this program going where they want it to go?
Well, I think it's always a work in progress is what you're doing, but, we're actually making some great gains. We're coming out, and I feel like they feel like they're going to have success when they get out there. I don't know. It's you never know how long it's going to take. You want it to take, as soon as possible, obviously, but I mean, you go believe in them, work on things that they need to do as individuals to improve, and try to run organized stuff every day in practices, and emphasize basics, routine plays, and then sooner or later you hope to create that culture of performance and competing and expecting to win. But we've had a couple of games this year where we fell behind early and maybe should have lost a game, but when losing becomes unacceptable, you just find ways to get it done. You dig in and you bear down, and when things aren't going your way, and it's all really a culture of how what kind of expectations do the players have? Who do they think they are, and what do they think they can do? And when you believe in guys and they believe in each other, you don't know when that's going to happen, but we really feel like certainly we're heading in that direction.
Yeah, I'm just being honest. We've covered baseball now for almost 10 years, and at a time there, Bay was not a school that you thought, if I was going to grow up and play baseball, I love baseball. Not sure that's the place because they went through some lean years. Now it seems like this is the place you want to be. If you got a history of getting kids scholarships, you've got a history of winning championships, and they got pretty nice facilities over there at Bay High School. So I think now the image. And Glenn, you tell me if I'm wrong, but I think so. I think it's a place you want to go now.
It is, and he's very structured in the thing that that the kids are treated, kind of like adults, but they're accountable for what they do in the classroom and also on the field. And so I think that culture, and he's got the coaching staff that's been together quite a while, so that also helps too.
Yeah. Well, Coach, tell us. We haven't talked to you in a week. Tell us what's happened since last time we talked to you. I know you've played a couple games. Give us a little rundown. What's going on? Give us some names. Who's playing well?
Well, so last Friday we went over to Rickards in Tallahassee, and that's a much improved Rickards team. Rickards had some really good years about 4 or 5 years ago where they were super competitive in the Tallahassee area. Then you're going up and playing Tallahassee teams every day. You're pretty good. And we were impressed with them. We're just watching them warm up. We thought we've got a ball game here. But we were able to come out and really played well. Trace Brooks and Joey West combined on a no-hitter that game. So we came out with a 10-0 win. Brooks had 8 strikeouts in 4 innings, and then Joey came in, and he's just been great in relief for us so far this year. He's a really reliable guy we can bring in. He came in and got about 5 strikeouts, I think, in 2 innings there. So we had a 6-inning game. Jonathan Corona had 4 hits that game and had 4 RBIs for us there. And so that was a good road win Friday night for us. And then last night played Freeport, and Freeport has Coach Eubanks over there is a new guy come in over there. He's no stranger to Freeport. He's been over there as a middle school coach and was a good college player, and he's a young guy and a young staff, and they're excited about what they're doing, and I know what he's going to do over there. They're a very detail oriented team, and they do things the right way. They came in 3-0 in the game, but we were able to again, the pitching on the mound just kind of dominated the game. Grayson Gibson just put on a show. He took a no-hitter again into the 7th inning last night, and we were one great play away from a second consecutive no-hitter, but they did get a hit in the 7th inning. So Grayson finished with a 1-hitter last night, and again Joey came in to finish up the last out for Grayson there. We just didn't want to get his pitch count any higher. Once he got to about 78, 80 pitches, that was enough. But Grayson struck out 13. He didn't walk a hitter. He was right at 75% strikes on the night, and he only had 1 3-ball count all night long. So it was just a clinic in efficiency for Grayson up there. He filled up the zone and threw multiple pitches with command and was dominant on the mound. So we also had 10 hits last night. 7 starters had at least 1 hit. And
wow.
Calvin Howard, Nick Fuentes, and Edmund Mackey they each had, I know they had multiple hits last night, and Nick had a home run. Fuentes hit a 2-run home run there somewhere in the middle of that game. So, but our pitching has really been outstanding. That's really been the strength of the team so far early in the year, which for most high school teams early in the year, that's what you kind of have to rely on is pitching and defense. And, our staff, the pitching staff has just been, we're solid, we're deep. Trace Brooks, Grayson, Andrew Scott has also been a guy that started for us and done a great job. Joey West and Cooper Pendergrast, Elliot Richter, Liam Adams, all of those 7 guys we feel like we have a lot of depth there, and any of those guys can come in and get the job done, and they all have. I think our team ERA is right about 1.7. We've got over 4 strikeouts to 1 walk, which you hope to have 2 to 1. And we're just not walking guys. They're challenging the zone and challenging hitters, and couldn't be happier with how we started out on the mound. And so I'm sure those guys are going to keep that up, and that really goes a long way.
What's the rest of the week look like this week? Who you got this week?
Well, Thursday we're going to go to Mosley, and we play there at 4 o'clock. We moved it up because of the cold weather, so we're going to play a 4 o'clock game there. We switched our JV game to April 4th. I think it's a Friday there, the first week of April. So we're going to play a 4 o'clock game at Mosley tomorrow, and then Friday we're at Bozeman.
So that's pretty tough.
Yeah. 2 good ones.
Yeah.
Two good ones back to back.
Yeah.
When you go across the bridge to the beach, when you do that?
I think that's next week. I'm not looking much past Thursday and Friday.
That's true.
But I believe we play there. I think we play Arnold the end of next week. I think next Thursday or Friday next week we will play Arnold.
That's the thing about it. You can have a really good team around here, and your record might not be outstanding because you get to play so many tough teams. It's like kind of like in the SEC baseball and Bay County baseball. Everybody's so good. Everybody's so well coached. It's tough. It's tough to win them all.
It is. It is. Mm-hmm.
Well, Coach, man, I know you're busy. Thank you so much for coming on. Oh, I was going to ask you just real quick. What do you do like today? Do they let you use the gym? If it's raining, you can't get on the field. What do you guys do? Is it get in the batting cage, or you try to get in the gym, try to get something done?
Yeah, we have a roof on our batting cages now. So that's the awesome thing the county has done is put a roof on all of our batting cages. So
that's awesome.
That'll be an option because I think the rain's going to get out of here late this morning. The field may dry out enough. It has been a little bit dry lately, so the field will dry out enough to use it. I hope so, but if not, we'll use the cages. Yeah, the gym may be open now that basketball's finishing up. There may be an opportunity in the gym for us to go in and get some things we can do in a gym done.
Yeah.
There's possible also indoor hitting facilities around. So we'll just see. We'll see how everything looks around noon, and we will plan accordingly based on what we can do outside.
Well, Coach, if you practice today, after it's rained so much, watch out for your center fielder. Everything drains that way. He may need a floaty.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It does. There's that one spot out there where you think it's not too bad. Next thing you know, you're underwater.
That's right.
Coach, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you. Great job. Keep it up. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you, Coach Hudson.
All right, thank you.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's a great job.
Great coach.
I tried to hire him for 20 years. Finally, I had to leave before he came. I think there's something to that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, me and him had a lot of long talks. We will not tell you what was said. Ever. No. All right, let's talk about some of these great people. I love Chad Mitchell. He is a wonderful man, an unbelievable doctor. People come from all around now just to have him operate on it. The guy is incredible. If you get any type of injury whatsoever, call, make an appointment, go see Chad Mitchell. Listen to him every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. He has Buddy and did officiating in the SEC and stuff. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But Chad's a wonderful man, great doctor, the legendary Dr. Chad Mitchell. We're going to have a great doctor on here at 7:30 this morning, too, Dr. Ward. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, don't put it off. 5 minutes can save your life. And Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? It's Jason Kovalevsky. We're telling you all the time, get an edge. Their scholarships are so hard to get now. You want your son or daughter to have an edge, and the way, it's bigger, stronger, faster, what they should eat, what they shouldn't eat. Jason Covalesi's got all those answers. Guy is incredible. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. You love pizza? It's paparazzi. Glenn loves it. I love it.
Yep.
I like when Glenn pays for it. Listen to this.
Even better.
2 huge slices of pizza, and they can actually cut it up 4 slices if you ask for it. But the 2 are huge, like most other people's one pizza. But take somebody with you, get 1 lunch special, and buy 1 extra drink. $11 and change for lunch special, and you will absolutely love it. The bakery's incredible. The best cakes made daily, fresh, every day, home scratch. Try the Paradise Cake. You'll absolutely love it. The deli, they got a bar in there. They got everything right there on Thomas Drive. Paparazzi Pizza. We think you will absolutely love it. The local 115. You know what I love about that, Glenn? They got the old-fashioned salad bar.
Yep,
You ever make your own salad like you used to do? The food's incredible. The local, downtown, historical, local 115. Go check it out. We think you'll like it. We think you'll love it. It's an oyster bar with a sports theme. It's kind of like a Hall of Fame down there. Oysters, crab cakes, steamed seafood, gumbo, soup, salads, wings, ice cold beer. Try the Tommy Oliver draft beer. You'll love it. Check it out. The local 115. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Hopefully Dr. Ward. Be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida is taking it to the home. Your home for the most live college basketball in the Gulf Coast. The ACC, SEC, and the biggest games in the country. Plus the official station of March Madness.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
Hear every slam dunk in ultra-high fidelity right here.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Tire and Auto. Call 850-769-7323. Your certified AAA service center and hometown towing. Visit them online at HewittTire.com on Airport Road in Panama City. 850-769-7323. Hewitt Tire and Auto Center and hometown towing.
Need a tow? Call Billy at Hometown Towing, 850-265-1562.
Every love story deserves a perfect beginning. At Tracy's Fine Jewelry, we believe that your engagement ring should be as unique as your love. Explore a vast selection of certified natural and lab-created diamonds, each hand-picked for brilliance and beauty. Whether you desire the timeless allure of one of our hand-selected engagement rings, or you'd like to custom design the perfect ring, visit us today and let our experts guide you in finding the ring of her dreams, because love deserves the best. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, where love sparkles.
Your biggest investment is your home. Protect it while also improving its appearance with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. We have sand, mulch, gravel, or lay-down decorative stone, all available for pickup and delivery. Discover your dream landscape with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Imagine the moment you proudly pull up to your home that you've worked so hard for, enhanced by quality mulch, decorative stones, and more. Let's make it happen today. Request a quote online at earthworkspc.com or swing by the office at 2005 Industrial Drive. Love the land you live on.
Want to know the inside scoop on your favorite teams? From the gridiron to the hardwood to the diamond. For comprehensive sports coverage, it's ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
And welcome back to an absolutely gorgeous day today.
Liquid sunshine.
Glenn ordered this for all the visitors coming down to the beach for spring break. Yeah.
My buddy came down and it snowed. Then he rescheduled, so he came down last week. It was cold and rain. I said, "Don't schedule any more trips to Panama City."
Well, that was like us. We're supposed to go to the mountain. Somebody gets sick. We reschedule a week later. Somebody's still sick. Gonna do it again. Somebody's still sick. I took her to the vet one time to put her down and got talked out of it. They said that's not legal. I didn't know that. I just thought we'd try and do the nice thing.
There you go.
So as we drag out our 7:30 phone call.
Did you? I watched the Florida basketball game last night. Those guys hit more threes than they hit twos.
Glenn, Florida's basketball might win it all. You don't. Nobody knows what. All right, let's get back to this. Before we do anything else, we got to say this again. We're asking everybody to say a little prayer for Ryan Mulvey. We love Ryan. going through a difficult time, getting ready to have a surgery as we speak. So say a little prayer that everything goes well, and the doctor's doing an incredible job in his speedy recovery, and he'll be fine. The legendary Ron Moby. Also, we'd ask you to please go by Arnold High School, help these people out. The soccer team's down in Auburndale, Florida. That's beautiful Polk County, playing for the state championship. Nationally known, Arnold Soccer. If you could help out in any way, it could be a student giving $5. It can be a parent. It could be Glenn Manley giving $1,000. It doesn't matter. Whatever amount you can give, go by the high school, drop it off, and say, this is for the Arnold Soccer team. This trip's going to cost them between $15,000 and $20,000. That's what I've been told. So if you guys can help them out in any way, we certainly will appreciate that. Do those two little things. Pray for Ryan, give money to Arnold High School. And the third thing, if you'd like to give money to me, to my retirement fund, I would be gladly accept. We got him. We got the man, the myth, the legend, Dr. Ward. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, fellas. How are y'all doing?
We're doing good. Outstanding. I got Glenn, I got Brian, I got Wildcat. It couldn't be better. We got you now. You got anything for us you want to share? Because I got some. I'm going to drill your brain here in a minute. So you got anything you want to share with us?
Absolutely, man. What a great time to be a Florida Gator. You know, we're tearing it up on the basketball court. We're 4-0 in baseball, number 1 in softball. I mean, it is just they're killing it in Gainesville right now in all the spring sports. So, yeah, proud to be a Gator.
I tell you what, that basketball team, who knows, man? There's no telling what they're going to do.
Yeah. They were shooting the eyes out of it last night.
They played defense. When they went into Auburn and did that, I said, they got a chance to do something. And then against Tennessee, I was like, what's wrong with them? But you never know. You never know. All right, Doc, I got a question. All right, all three of you are going to play this little game. You're going to pick Heisman legends. Heisman legends. I'm going to give you my 10, my guys you can pick from, but you're going to number 1 through 5. Here we go. 2007, from the University of Florida, the legendary, the most famous player maybe of all time, Tim Tebow. And out of the great state of Alabama, Mark Ingram, 2009. Oklahoma State, greatest running back maybe to ever play the game, Barry Sanders, 1988. He came out of space. He comes to Auburn. All they do is win the national championship. Cam Newton, 2010. Ohio State, the only guy to ever win back-to-back Heisman trophies. What's wrong with the sound? Archie Griffin. USC, he's a killer. He can take it to the house. He's deadly. O.J. Simpson. Auburn's legendary Bo Jackson, 1985. Texas, Earl Campbell, 1977. And Herschel Walker, the Georgia Bulldogs, 1982. That's your list to choose from. They've been a lot of Heisman trophies. But that's the list you get to choose from. Doc, I want you to list me 5 of the legendary, number 1's the best legend, to number 5. Who was your top 5 Heisman Trophy legends? Can I give you mine first? Okay, I will. Number 1 for me, 2007, Tim Tebow is number 1. The man, the myth, the greatest role model in college football history. Number 2 for me, Herschel Walker, 1982. Number 3 for me, Archie Griffin, Ohio State. Grew up, watched him win 2 in a row. No one's ever done that. And then the unbelievable athlete, Bo Jackson from Auburn, 1985. And number 5 for me, from the great state of Texas, Earl Campbell. That's my 5 top. What is yours, Dr. Ward?
Mine is very, very, I mean, without a doubt,
Why did you pick him? I know why I did, but why did you pick him?
Without Tim Tebow, Florida would not have won the national title.
You may be going in and out of the area.
Hey, you breaking up on us. Hey, Doc.
I am. I'm in South Florida today, so I may not be able to stick with because our cell service is horrible here.
Yeah, I can't even hear what you say. Can you hear him?
No.
Well, you know.
Sorry, guys.
That's
no
okay.
worries.
No worries.
It sounds like he said he was in South Walton somewhere.
Yeah.
If you're on the move, then.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, be careful driving. Can he hear us?
Yeah.
I can't.
I can hear y'all. But y'all can't hear
Don't
me.
say anything bad about him, James. Jeez.
He overcharges me.
Hey, Doc, I ran into one of your friends yesterday. My veterinarian is Jeremy Gillespie.
Another Gator. I'm glad that you don't hold the grudge.
I can hear you better now. That's better now. All right, who is your number 2? Tim Tebow, great role model for people. I get all that. Who do you have number 2?
Number 2 is definitely Herschel Walker.
Good man, smart. Hey, you know what? You're highly intelligent. Number 3, who you got?
Number 3, Bo Jackson.
Okay, I get that. Number 4.
Number 4, Archie Griffin.
Okay. Number 5.
And then number 5, he killed it. Literally, O.J. Simpson.
He's sharp, man. He's deadly. He's deadly. He can take it to the house. Be careful. He comes to yours. All right. Give me yours, Brian. Give me your top 5.
I've been busy doing stuff here. I don't know. Top 5 whatever? Or just out of the 5 you
Just
listed?
the 5 legendary play. Glenn, give me your 5.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right,
I got work to do.
Go.
Give me your 5.
The only reason I got Archie Griffin first is because
You
he
won
did
2.
it twice.
Yeah.
And
I guess
back in
that's
the
fair.
day when it was,
Real
could be
men
anybody,
play. Yeah.
anybody that showed out and did well. And but then I got to go with Tim Tebow.
Second.
Yeah, second. And then I would say Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
And
he's
then
good.
because of the way they had to play, they didn't play as many games and things like that. And then Earl Campbell.
4.
And
Okay.
then
Number 5.
And probably a man from Auburn,
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson.
Give me your 5.
I would definitely have had Barry Sanders in there for sure. Bo Jackson, to me, should absolutely be in the top 5. Ironically, he was in one of the closest races ever, which is crazy, against Chuck Long, of all people. Golly, I know it was taken away from him for a while, but I think people forget how good Reggie Bush was.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you'd have to consider him, O.J., Tebow. Order's tough, but I'd be probably in that.
Yeah, I still, to me, you got to give it to Tebow as the greatest legendary. I mean, Doc, tell me the truth. To me, he's the most famous player we've had. People loved him. He's a great Christian kid, a great role model. He was a winner of the speech he gave after the Ole Miss game. The guy was unbelievable. And then when he cried at the Alabama game, I mean, he loved the game. He was a great person. Talk about Tebow, what he meant to you.
Tebow is everything that comes ever. And look no further out when
This ain't gonna work.
Yeah, we're going to need to call Doc back.
Yeah, I thought it was me. I couldn't hear me. Okay, Doc, we can't hear you. Can you try to
get somewhere stationary and call us back?
If you can call back, try call back. If you can't, understand.
The thing.
Can he hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that's interesting about when you got later on, I mean, I guess it started with Archie Griffin, really, but it used to be that the person who won the Heisman was either, a junior leaving or a senior. And so you didn't get to see him again in college football. When it started happening with Griffin, where he came back and won again, with Herschel winning it I guess Herschel won it a little bit later. But with Tebow, he won it so young, he had another year or two kind of holding that Heisman banner. Manziel did it. It's kind of neat now when a guy wins it and comes back, and they kind of have that aura built up about him that here's a Heisman player, but he's still playing college. And Tebow really carried that banner for a couple of years.
Yeah.
It's kind of a different thing now where these young guys can win it and still play another year or two of college football.
Remember Danny Warfel? I thought he was like the Tebow before Tebow. He was a great leader, great Christian. Right. And Spurrier got the most out of his ability. He had an awkward throw. Yeah. And Tebow had kind of a slow throw, too, which caught up with him in the NFL.
All right, let's have some more fun with the Heisman. Who's the best player never to win one?
Probably me. Let's take a break. We'll come back and answer. That's a good question. Let's talk about it when we get back. You listen to the local 1115 on Downtown Historical as far as you know.
Pardon?
Locals, 115. Go check it out. The salad bar is absolutely incredible. We want you to go in and have a great time. Also, Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, go see the legendary Dr. Ward offices throughout Northwest Florida. He's probably headed up that hospital up there on 331 or something. And it's kind of good that he's not on the phone right now, this weather driving.
What a great thing those guys did getting that thing going. It's so needed up there.
Dr. Ward's involved in so many different things. It's unbelievable. He's a great coach. He's a great man, a leader, politics. He's into everything. And, of course, he graduated from Florida, so you know he's highly intelligent, Glenn Manley. But if you, again, offices everywhere. Go check him out. The guys operated on me in 2 times. Down Southwest Florida, I had a bad experience. They came in there. They numb you up. They cut on you. They sit you back outside. It seemed like you were there all day long. They bring you back in. They numb you back up again and do it. That happened to me like 3 times. I was like, are y'all charging me by the shot or what? What's the deal? I got a little upset. But you go to him, he got it the first time. He got it all out the first time. I've had it happen twice. Skin cancer can be deadly. 5 minutes can save your life. Go see Dr. Ward. The guy's incredible. Turf Pro Pest Control. Had a great time with Patrick yesterday. Him and I took an hour walk together. I saw him. He was out in his truck. We walked around, had a great talk. Turf Pro Pest Control. You want your yard to look absolutely beautiful. He can make it happen. He's always out in Bay Point. The guy is incredible. Turf Pro Pest Control, #1. David Asman, their jewelry store is absolutely incredible. Russ, Amber, they do a great job. Great job. My daughter was so excited when she saw the ring we bought her. That I bought her, that she absolutely loved. I'm still working, okay? I pay the bills. I bought it. Yeah. It's a man's world.
You may have a new lock on your door when you get home.
The lock's been
I get off
going to be a hungry man's world.
Well, you and Glenn, you bought all kinds of stuff for down there.
I had a custom-made piece of jewelry at David Adamson Designer Jewelry.
I love the nose ring.
Highway 77 note. That's not the one I had custom-made.
I have.
But I love
That's
it.
the belly ring.
Yeah, that's bad.
Thank you, Walk.
He's got one earring in his one ear. He did that a long time ago.
Yeah, which side is he wearing?
One of my left, one of my tongue.
I like his tongue ring. That's pretty nice, too. Well, Glenn, you've been down there. David Adams.
Twice. They made a deal on the bracelet that I couldn't pass up, and then also I'm having a special thing made for Janet. So Bay High people, don't tell her yet. She's still.
And they just do regular old battery watch repairs and replace the batteries and watches, and they'll repair anything right there in house. David Adamson Design.
And they'll talk a little sports with you too. If you
Russ is big time sports, man. They do a great job there. Wonderful people down there. Go check it out. And when you're over there, head on down to Beef O'Brady's and say hello to Pat Perno, the city commissioner of Lynn Haven. Beef O'Brady's Lynn Haven. They're special today. If you're in Lynn Haven, today get over there. 10 wings inside for $9.99. The legendary Beef O'Brady's Lynn Haven. We'll be right back.
Your home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Last weekend, the #1 Auburn Tigers took care of business against Alabama. Next, Auburn returns to the jungle to face their next challenge, the Arkansas Razorbacks. Coverage coming up tonight at 7:30. Tip-off at 8 on your home for college basketball and the Auburn Tigers.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Wednesday. For this afternoon and evening, clouds and a high of 56 with a moderate breeze at 14 miles per hour out of the north. Tonight, some clouds with lows around 39. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a moderate breeze and a temperature near 50. Moving into Friday, about the same with a high of 52 and mostly sunny. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
If you spend any time at all in your yard, you're going to encounter fire ants.
We know they can ruin a party. That's why we're this area's experts at fire ant elimination.
As your certified top choice professional, we will rid your yard of these unwanted invaders. Brock Pest is so sure they'll get rid of fire ants that they offer a 1-year guarantee.
Enjoy your yard fire ant free. We guarantee it. Give us a call for your free consultation.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control. Our family protecting yours since 1968.
Whether you're an experienced investor or first-time buyer, Beach House will provide you with top-notch service to guide you through every step of the process. We make the real estate process fun and easy through effective marketing, strategic advertising, and always a client-focused experience. From single-family homes to full-scale developments, Beach House Sales Development has you covered. Check them out at beachhousesalesfl.com or give them a call at 850-919-3500.
He has a really low passenger rating on Uber. He punched a magician and started a petition to remove the penny from circulation.
I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael studio.
Is he sane? I have no idea.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! See, when you call us and we can't hear you, we turn on you. We go from Florida to Florida State.
Like
the legendary Dr. Ward's usually with us this time. We just cannot hear him. He's on his way taking a trip. And this, I don't know. I'm glad he's on the phone driving.
We transferred all the power.
Have you ever seen him drive before?
No.
He can do anything but
drive.
His wife said this reason they fly everywhere. They're scared of his driving.
Just remember, you're insulting a man who uses a laser on you.
You know what? He drives really well. I tell you what, I can't say enough good things about this guy. Anyway, go see Dr. Ward if you have any problems. We were talking about the Heisman. We were talking about somebody that shouldn't have won it. Or didn't win it. Didn't win the Heisman Trophy. Brian, let's get back to that, then we'll get into FSU. Who were you thinking?
Laughing at a text we just got, but anyway.
Was it negative or positive?
I wasn't negative on you, but that's most of the texts I received. I just threw out there, whether it's best player never to win a Heisman or maybe the player who should have won the Heisman and didn't, because there have definitely been some instances of that through the years that I know people have. But I'm curious what you guys think on that one. I certainly have one or two that stand out in my mind. So
who are they?
Well, I would say more recently Peyton Manning is the one that still just shocks me. As much as I didn't like him. Charles Woodson, who's great.
Yeah.
And then it was a defensive player, which was important, but I really felt like that was the ESPN hype machine. I'm going to sound like the Buckeye boys here for a second, but they got behind that one. But look, Woodson was a great player. It's not like it went to an undeserving guy, but I just thought Peyton Manning, especially coming back and being the face of college football, and as much as I hated Tennessee and him being there, that was one. But the all-timer for me, and you even asked the guys who won it, and we're top two on it, is Jim Brown. And, there were a lot of racial overtones back then as to why. And it was between Paul Hornung, who was on a losing team, and Johnny Majors at University of Tennessee. And they actually met up one time. And, they've gotten that question forever between who should have won it, Hornung or Majors, Hornung or Majors. Paul Hornung asked Johnny Majors, they ask us all the time. I'm curious to your answer. And without missing a beat, he goes, Jim Brown should have won it. and I think that was right. So those were just two that stuck out to me as kind of guys. The only other one I can remember, I thought the year Willis McGahee played at Miami, running back.
Who?
Willis McGahee. This is like 0102, somewhere in that time frame. I can't remember who won it. I just thought McGahee was the best player I saw in college football that entire year. He was just really special when he was there.
Glenn, who you got that should have won it that didn't?
I'm kind of going with the Jim Brown thing because I think way back when Paul Hornung, because he went to Notre Dame on a losing team, and I know at that time it said the best player. But I still think Jim Brown would.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't think one player at Alabama didn't get enough credit. Maybe not should have won the Heisman, but was overlooked on a lot of things. His name was Wilbur Jackson. Was his number 80, played running back at Alabama. His average per carry still is the record at Alabama, 7.1 yard per carry every time he touched the ball. The guy was unbelievable football player, but they were in the wishbone. And this one, Coach Bryant was running three teams on the offense. 33 different players would play in a game on the offense side of the ball, so he never got to touch the ball much. But when he did, it was unbelievable. He played years and years in the NFL.
See, I thought you were going to say Johnny Musso.
Johnny was third?
Yeah,
he was a great player. There's no doubt about that. Pat Sullivan won it that year, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was Pat Sullivan that won it that year. I can't think of anybody else, really. I wasn't too impressed. This past year, I don't think the best player in college football won it. I thought the most, I think him playing for Dion helped. He played both ways, played a lot of snaps. I get all that. And who was the other one? You mentioned a minute ago. I think it was at Missouri, Michigan that played both ways.
Charles Woodson.
Yeah. And I think that's the reason he won it, because he also played both ways. All right, Glenn, let's shift over to FSU. Brought to you by Newbies. 4 great locations. Love John, love Charlotte. Get up Newbies, have a great time. What you got?
Well, last night the Seminole baseball team traveled down to USF, and they ended up winning 6-2, and that makes them 4-0 for the year. And they will
take your time now, because I can.
They will play Penn State this weekend, starting Friday, a 3-game series. Not Penn State, but Penn. I'm sorry, University of Penn. I keep thinking about some of my former players. They went to Penn State, or maybe it was State Penn. I'm not sure.
I was going to say I had a lot of players went to the Penn.
And the softball team, they're 8-1. They will be hosting the Joanne Griff tournament this weekend, and that starts on Friday and goes through Sunday. They will play 5 games in 3 days, and one of the most notable ones will be the Texas A&M softball team coming in, and they do the softball team. They will play their crosstown rival. They will play Florida A&M on Friday at 3 o'clock. I think that's the game time. Also, which really has happened here is it's kind of a good thing. The FSU breaks the school record for they have 30 guys on the all-ACC academic team this year. So congratulations to them. They have the thing about that, you have to have a previous semester and a previous year of 3.0 or better, and you have to have competed in over 50% of the competition. And so in the school, when back right after Jimbo left, the APR, if you don't have over a certain thing, you cannot actually participate. So when Jimbo was there, right at the end, they were down almost below 900. If you get below 900, you can't. That's one of the things Willie Taggart did. He kind of brought them up, and everything. So
does that still apply now with all the transfers and stuff?
Yeah, it does. So I was going to tell you now, the APR this year for FSU was 997, so that's a single season high for them. They started out in 2023 at 972, and then for congratulations for them, they've moved it up. And also now Norvell's been there 5 years. He's got 73 people that have been all academic ACC. And another thing that was kind of, I like the way this guy is. We got to transfer in from Ole Miss. The transfer is Micah Pettis. He's an offensive lineman, 6'7", 350 pounds, with 3 or 4 years experience at Ole Miss. He said Norvell and Malzahn were kind of knocking each other to get to the phone to give him a call. He said he went on the portal at 9 o'clock in the morning, and he said by 9:05 he got a call from FSU. He actually, Coach Norwell must have beaten Coach Malzahn to the phone, but they offered him. So he was kind of chuckling about that. He said, usually you have to wait a couple of days, and all of a sudden, bing, so congratulations to him. And then there's a writer for the Chop Chat. His name is Taylor Davis, and he goes into some different things. And he says 3 football players you need to monitor, that he thinks you need to monitor this spring that's going to help would be, number 1, the quarterback, Thomas Castellanos. And Malzahn's offense, he does like to run the ball a lot, even though you think he's, pass happy, but he's not. And so this will help with him. Castellanos has the legs to move and run the ball with him. So this will be great. And then the other thing is a guy running back, Jalen Lewis, he was a guy that came from Indiana. And he's speed, kick returner and everything. And he's going to be a good help for them, put him in the slot with all the other receivers they have. But also, last year he got hurt in the Baylor game, the Boston College game, and he wasn't able to come back the whole year. So that kind of hurt us in the kick returns. If you'll remember last year, we talked about how bad we were in the kick returns. And then there's a defensive back. His name's Jamari Howard, and he is going to be looking for some great things. The coach at Sartan Senior, he produced some great some great defensive backs, and he said this guy will be in there. They've lost 3 to graduation in NFL. Azari, Thomas, Fentrell, Cypress and Kevin Knowles. So he lost all those 3 starters, and so now they got some talented kids there, and he thinks this young man will be one of those that'll help out a lot. So we'll see what goes on, and hopefully things will get better.
I think they will. I really do. Gus Malzahn. Matter of fact, they did an article, and I have time, I'll get into more of this later, but they ranked they ranked the best coordinators in college football. Believe it or not, Gus Malzahn came in at number 5 at FSU as the 5th best coordinator hire in the country. And the number 8 in the nation, Tony White, FSU's defense coordinator. So you listen to the experts, or Florida State's upgrade on both sides of the ball.
Both those guys can recruit very well, so that's a big help.
If he gets a quarterback that can run and throw, watch out. All right, our FSU update's been brought to you by the legendary Newbies. Get out to one of the 4 locations. Have a great time. The one in St. Andrews, the blue building, absolutely gorgeous. Go have a great time over there. The Mothership, the best bands in the Southeast every single weekend. And we're getting closer and closer to spring break. I saw Will at the gym the other day. Will does a great job down there at Newbies. Him and his wife, Kathy, all of them wonderful people down there. Get out to support them. They do an incredible job, and they're always, John and Charlotte, always giving back to the community. Let's make sure we support them. One of the 4 Newbies. Go have a great time. Newbies 2 on the Curve. Go watch all sporting events. Mm-hmm. We get back. We got Glenn Manley. We got Brian. We got Wildcat. We got Alabama. We got a little bit about Auburn, and we got a lot about the Florida Gators. And where is Dr. Ward?
And we got Mark McCloud.
That's about Florida Gator. That's what I meant.
That'll work.
Yeah, as you were walking around the studio and not. Anyway, I need to talk to you about something. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN North.
Grumpy old men.
Your home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Last weekend, the number 1 Auburn Tigers took care of business against Alabama. Next, Auburn returns to the jungle to face their next challenge, the Arkansas Razorbacks. Coverage coming up tonight at 7:30. Tip-off at 8 on your home for college basketball and the Auburn Tigers.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Discover Kia at Bill Bird Kia during the President's Day sale going on all month long. Are you looking for a fuel-efficient SUV that doesn't compromise on style, comfort, and performance? Stop in today at Bill Bird Kia and let our team put you behind the wheel of your new Kia. Bill Bird Kia is now offering 1.9% APR for up to 60 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento. Bill Bird Kia is the home of that 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us today at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento with $1,748 per month per $1,000 finance in 60 months. Qualities limited, cannot be combined with other finance offers. Not available on balloon financing. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete detail. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 3/3/25.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And here we go.
The number 1 SEC call-in show is now twice as big. The Paul Feinbaum Show. Weekday evening 6 to 10. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show. On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Is that going on the new Hale Sings the Blues record?
I'm recording the record.
Coming out April 1st.
April 1st. Roll Tide. Roll. I will never forget, as long as I live. 1973, first game I've ever been to instead of a high school game. You know, we didn't have much. We never went anywhere, never did anything. Didn't go to movies, didn't do anything. But Mr. Milton took us to the Alabama-Tennessee game, both ranked in the top 10. First play of the game. Their seats were different. We were in the end zone, and they were on the sides. But anyway, first play of the game, you could see it. In Alabama, I didn't know this. Every play up to that point, Alabama had opened up with the fullback dive. Not even the triple option, the fullback got the ball. They were, first established the fullback in the wishbone. So every game they done that. What did they do? They ride him in there like it's a fullback dive. Wheeler, they back out of there. Rutledge hits Wheeler for an 80-yard touchdown pass. First play I ever saw in college football. The place is going crazy. It was unbelievable, and I was hooked on college football when I saw that. I will never forget that. Became a huge Alabama fan. The excitement up in Birmingham was unbelievable, and this was back in 1973 when it was pretty safe to go there.
You can remember all that, but you had to look at your shirt to see what team you're yelling for.
Calculus, ergonomical engineering. Yes, I can do all that.
Wait, say that word again.
Chemical engineering. I can do all that stuff.
I heard ergonomical.
See, that's over y'all's head. Y'all don't even know what that's about.
Nor do we want to know.
I work for you.
That's going on the list. We're making a list.
Anyway, Alabama Updates brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. They do such a wonderful. I love Jason. They do such a good. They do a wonderful job. Yep. They really do. They're the most honest people I've ever dealt with. And what I love about Jason, they're local. He grew up here, graduated from Mosley High School. If you're going to deal with anybody, deal with the local companies. Don't do something national. Go with local people. Go with Stevenson Air Conditioning. I tell you all the time, get it serviced about every 6 months. It's going to last longer. Your power bill is going to be lower. They can come in and tell you also what you need to do, help keep the house warm, how to keep it cool. They're incredible. One of the few things you actually purchase will pay for itself over a period of time because you save money every month on your power bill. Stevenson Air Conditioning. Locals taking care of locals throughout Panhandle, Florida. USM beat Mississippi State last night 3-0.
Yeah.
I think it was in Hattiesburg, and Matthew Russo did a great job for Southern Mississippi. Southern Mississippi now is 5-0. Matthew batting cleanup. Man, he had like 5 RBIs. Good job. Unbelievable, man.
In front of tens of fans.
Thousands.
Tens of fans.
No. Southern Mississippi.
They do actually.
Southern Mississippi
their baseball outdraws their football.
It does. I mean, that's sad. Baseball is bigger than basketball. It's bigger than football right now. We've been to Omaha.
I actually heard they were renaming the football stadium from the Rock to the Pebble.
There you go. I thought they were switching fields. The baseball team's going to now be in the football stadium.
But anyway,
congratulations on your win.
Yeah, we beat Mississippi State, by the way. Yeah. And Mississippi State's got a great program, no doubt about that. Alabama baseball, we shall see. It's early in the year. We'll see how that plays out. But Alabama football, recruiting never ends. Never ends. Noah Roberts, the number 2 running back in the nation, okay? He discusses Alabama, Nebraska, and USC. His top three teams he's looking at right now. Not the only ones, but top 3. He's 6'1". He is a skinny, 170 pounds, so he's got a frame to be a lot bigger than that. He's the 38th best player in the nation. He's the number 2 running back in the nation. He's got 25 offers from 25 powerhouse programs. I look for this. They interviewed him. I look for the offensive scheme, the play style, to see if I fit their offense. What's important to me, the relationship with the coaches is pretty big. But those are some of the things I look for to decide where I'm going to go play at the next level. Nebraska, it was a great visit. It was a great place, great facilities. They have everything you need there to be successful, no doubt about that. Southern Cal. I have a very solid relationship with the coach, not just the head coach, but all the coaches that I've met at USC. We've talked all the time, always on the phone with them. Excellent to see how the players, I'm excited to see how the players can compete in the spring. I thought that was interesting when he said that. I'm excited to see how the players respond and the way they react to spring football. They didn't have a great year last year at USC, so maybe that's a concern for him. And then he talked about Alabama. He said Alabama has the greatest tradition of all schools. He said everybody knows Alabama. Getting players in the NFL, they do it better than anyone. I grew up watching, like most people, watching Alabama play. They were always in championship games. You know, it's kind of a big deal when Alabama recruits you. He said DeBoer is the head coach. You talk about him. He goes, he is a creative offensive play caller. He's been to the national championship game. Look what he did at Washington. They played for the national championship. This young man is from the great state of Arizona. Now, this past year, he had 1,142 all-purpose yards and 24 touchdowns. Really good athlete. Glenn, listen to what he's saying there. I would say, I said this during the football season. If I was an outstanding elite running back, I would not consider Alabama watching the play calling this past year. Thank goodness this young man does not know I said that, and hopefully no one else knows I said that, because Alabama's doing a pretty good job getting some running backs to look at them right now. I don't know how it's going to wind up, but hopefully going forward, especially with the great coordinator we just hired, that we'll see a different style. The running backs will actually get to run the ball some. Programs with the most invites to the NFL Combine. LSU came in. They have number 7 in the nation. They had 8 players get invited. Then it was a tie at number 6. It was a tie between Alabama and Florida. Both programs have 9 players getting invited. And then at number 5 was Miami. They have 10 players invited. Number 4 was South Carolina. They had 11. I don't know if that's USC, but it says South Carolina. Next up was Ole Miss. They were tied. They had 11 also. Then at number 3, Oregon had 12 players invited. Texas and Georgia were tied for the second most. They had 14. And then the Ohio State Buckeyes had 15 players invited to come out and let the NFL scouts look at them. I thought it was pretty incredible. And if you look at the list, look where they're all from. SEC and Big Ten. You had ACC, Miami. And everything else, guys, was 2 leagues, the 2 teams. The SEC, the Big Ten, they're in conversations now, meetings now in New Orleans about how they're going to structure the playoffs going forward. We've heard from 14 to 16 teams are going to be playing for the national championship. Anywhere, if they go to 16, they're going to get 5 guarantees from the Big Ten, 5 from the SEC. So things are changing daily when it comes to college athletics. Who knows what's going to happen? But again, the Big Ten SEC's got all the power. They got all the networks. They got all the money. It's their world. We just live in it. USA Today did an article. How much time I got? I got enough time to do it? All right, USA Today has an article ranking coaches. Everybody's doing it. CBS is doing it. ESPN's doing it. This one happens to be by USA Today. They rank head football coach DeBoer from Alabama among coaches that have the best chance to win a national championship in 2025. Let's talk about it. Ahead of Alabama is only LSU. Brian Kelly. They think he'll win it this year. They got a better odds, according to USA Today. LSU has a better chance of winning the national championship, Kelly does, than Alabama DeBoer. Oregon, Landing, is also rated a higher opportunity to win the next championship. And Texas, Stark. So you had 3 ahead of DeBoer, 3 ahead of Alabama. LSU, Oregon, and Texas. They had the best odds to win the national championship. I think Texas had the best odds on Oregon and LSU. Now, DeBoer was head of James Franklin, the head football coach of Penn State. He's on the list. And he's also ahead of Notre Dame's Coach Freeman, was also on the list. My question to you, Dr. Manley, out of this group, I don't even know if this group will win it. But if they do, you got LSU, Oregon, Texas, Alabama, Penn State, Notre Dame. Who do you think out of that group, if that's the only one that's going to win it that's coming up in 2025, who is it? Who's going to win it?
Way too early to do it, but for me, I would go back with Ohio State.
They're not on the list.
That's okay. I'm still going back.
Let me repeat the list.
No,
you and Brian are pulling the Hale on me.
No, here's the thing.
What?
I don't care. It doesn't matter now.
But who out of this list?
Okay.
All right, listen.
LSU. I know that. But
Oregon, Texas, Alabama, Penn State, Notre Dame. Out of that group, who do you think?
Well, how come Ohio State's not in there?
Because they already won one.
Glenn, that wouldn't be ergonomical.
Oh, that's true.
Out of that group, who would you pick?
I'd have to go with Ole Miss. How's that? Okay, Alabama. Go ahead.
Okay, that's
Defiance. I love it.
I don't have Alabama. Who do you got?
I can't believe I'm going to say this. Because of what they got coming back, I like Penn State.
They do got a lot of guys coming back.
I really like their team coming back.
He thinks Oregon, don't you?
No, I don't know.
Well, you're looking at the list. How do we know?
I'm going to go. So we'll do it differently then. I'll go Texas. I'll go Stark.
Texas would be a good pick.
Yeah, Texas. Yeah. You got
I can't
Penn
believe
State.
it, Franklin.
But you know what? I kind of get what you're saying. They do. I said it the other day in front of the Buckeye boys. They thought I was crazy.
What I heard they were going to do this time is when they have a crucial fourth down play in the national championship game, they're going to jingle some keys off to the side of James Franklin and distract him so that someone else can make the call. That's what I heard they were going to do.
So, isn't that cheerleader David over there?
Could we add Gus Malzahn to this list?
No, it's
Not
too
next
early.
year?
Too early.
2 more years, maybe?
Yeah, maybe 2.
Maybe 2.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people, like Dr. Glenn Manley. Glenn is going to Charter Living. We're going to miss him, but no, the legend, Dr. Glenn Manley. If you have any kind of problems, go see Glenn Manley. Today at J. Michael's, if Glenn shows up, I got a problem, he's going to help me out. It's called paying for lunch.
That's right.
No.
He's wearing the right color.
That's right.
The legendary J. That's right. We don't. You know, we
Just
usually
rub them spaghetti stains.
People always go, why do y'all put that yellow rain suit on Glenn on Wednesday? I said, if you ever watch me eat spaghetti, you'll know.
That's right, buddy.
The legendary J. Michael's, the best spaghetti, the world famous J. Michael's spaghetti, only on Wednesday. Go check it out. You'll absolutely love it. The ice cold beer, the best seafood, the legendary. It's like a museum in there. J. Michael's.
Yep.
I want to thank Stevenson Air Conditioning. Love those people down there for the Alabama update. You got any kind of problem, day or night, call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They'll be out. They'll solve any problem you have. They are the best. They are the best. You hear me? Stevenson Air Conditioning. South Oak Tile Closing. Chuck Tucker, another company, is out. Unbelievable, expanding throughout the Panhandle of Florida. Chuck is number one at what they do. Real estate closing, multi-million-dollar deals. South Oak Tottenham Closing. As Mark Coward, they do an incredible job. We'll be right back with Glenn's. We're going to do another FSU update and whatever else we're going to do. A little bit about Auburn, a little about this, a little bit that. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And I'm taking drugs for ADD, so don't.
Yeah, cocaine's a hell of a drug. Ask Glenn.
Go home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Last weekend, the number 1 Auburn Tigers took care of business against Alabama. Next, Auburn returns to the jungle to face their next challenge, the Arkansas Razorbacks. Coverage coming up tonight at 7:30. Tip-off at 8 on your home for college basketball and the Auburn Tigers.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Wednesday. For this afternoon and evening, clouds and a high of 56 with a moderate breeze at 14 miles per hour out of the north. Tonight, some clouds with lows around 39. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a moderate breeze and a temperature near 50. Moving into Friday, about the same with a high of 52 and mostly sunny. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com. In February, we celebrate Valentine's Day and President's Day. And with the warmer weather, could spring be far behind? That Boot Store will help you celebrate any time of the year with one of the widest selections of Western wear in the area. That Boot Store can fit the smallest to the largest, so bring the family and dress up Western style at an affordable price. Carhartt work clothes are available too. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5. Friday and Saturday, 9 till 5:30. Next to Bill Burr Kia 15th Street, Panama City. That Boot Store where God is good all the time.
Now back to the most dangerous radio show in the Gulf Coast. Coach James Hale. He's so dangerous, he doesn't even check his eggs at the grocery store.
Danger's my middle name.
I'm bad to the bone, honey.
2 tickets to the gun show.
We're live from the J. Michaels studio on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey, Martha, Kitty, Jenna, James, Michigan Eddie, all you Auburn Tigers out there. What the bumble? Hey, get out to Beef Road Raisin Lynn Haven today. Today's special, and only on Wednesdays. Go check it out. We think you'll love it. 10 wings inside for $9.99. Beef O'Brady's Lynn Haven. Pat Pernote is the city commissioner of Lynn Haven. Does an incredible job. Their restaurant is incredible. They treat you like family. And you might even see a legendary caller. The man, the myth, the legend, Michigan Eddie. We tell you, pray for him every day. He is a saint. We love him to death. Nobody knows sports like he does.
I don't think
if he says it's his
about
facts.
him this morning either.
Huh?
I don't think Eddie knows we were talking about him this morning.
Oh, well, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Got him on the phone now.
We got him? Okay, let's bring him on. The people's caller, the one and only Michigan Eddie. Good morning, sir.
What were you talking about me about, Coach?
Just what a great guy you are. We said, we were praying for Ron Movey, that you know, that's having surgery as we speak. We asked everybody to pray for him. We asked everybody to give money to Arnold Soccer to try to help them out, pay their expenses, that trip down to Polk County. And we said, I'm talking.
Which the school board should be paying for, by the way.
I'm talking. And I also said, pray for Michigan Eddie, because sometimes he can say things he shouldn't. But please pray for him, because he's such a wonderful person. We're just praying he can feel better.
What he doth.
Yeah, yeah. We thought you were calling about we were talking about rank the 5 best Heisman Trophy winners of all time. We thought you were calling about that, complaining.
Actually, I was calling about that, but the Bay County school board should be forking out the money for these sports teams. That's where our tax dollars should be going to. Just saying. Anyway, because I know in the state of Texas,
I don't want my taxes going up anymore, Eddie.
But, here's the thing. We go through that cycle of life. In the state of Texas, everything's paid for. We don't have to pay no participation fees, uniform fees, everything. At least we know where our tax dollars are going, where we're not getting nickel and dime at every turn like we do in Bay County. So there's these, like President Trump is doing with America, we need to do the same thing with Bay County school system.
So
and
you're in favor of a state?
What station?
Hey, listen.
Did I
There's no state tax in Texas either.
Time out. Texas,
bro.
Texas, things are just bigger in Texas. Hey, listen, give us your 5, nobody wants to hear that. Give us your 5 top Heisman players.
You brought it up about fundraising, not me. Anyway, can I tell you a story about Charles Woodson?
Yes, I'd love to hear that. So there's other crap you were talking about. Go ahead.
You're the one who talks politics, not me, Coach. Anyway, Deanna and I were in Vegas in October, and I was there for work out at Nellis, supporting the squadron out there, and we were at the airport, and I saw this guy with a gray and black and silver W with a black hat on at the gate. There's two flights leaving for Atlanta, and I'm like, no, it can't be. So I walked around, and I'm like, I go to Deanna, I go, I think Charles Woodson's right there. So then I take a note that he takes off. So I'm thinking he's taking the other flight to Atlanta. Well, hold on. He's right behind us, and we get in the plane, and he's in first class. So how cool is that? We were on the same flight to Atlanta. He lives in Florida as Charles Woodson. He was actually there for the Raiders Chiefs game, promoting his wine. Wow. And also,
what is he, a salesman or something? Who is he?
He owns his own wine company.
Oh, okay.
And I was there in '97, my freshman year at the academy, when we beat Leaf and Coach Price and the Cougars on the Rose Bowl. I stormed the field with all the Michigan crazies, and I was about 6 inches from Charles Woodson before I probably got escorted off the field by security. Just saying, in my younger days.
Wow.
Yes.
Pretty cool. Was he not? Is he friendly?
I didn't want to be that fan. He knew I was a Michigan guy. I knew who he was, so I was in my Michigan gear like I always am.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it is. But Woodson's got to be one of the best up there. Okay. Mark Ingram, he was a great running back.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole. You can go down the list.
Here are my 5. Tebow's number 1, Herschel Walker number 2, Archie Griffin number 3, number 4 Bo Jackson, number 5 Earl Campbell, Texas. What do you agree or disagree with those?
Those are all worthy. All worthy on the list.
All right, I want all 3 of you to help me out with this. We're going to rake the Auburn update. We're going to rank the 3 Heisman Trophy winners of Auburn. Who's number 1, who's number 2, number 3. You got the great Bo Jackson, the greatest athlete that ever lived, maybe. And then you have the unbelievable Cam Newton that came out of space that wins the national championship. That guy was an incredible quarterback. If anybody didn't watch him play, the guy was unreal. And then you had Pat Sullivan. I knew Pat. I love Pat Sullivan. Great man, great quarterback. And that was way back in 1971. So give me your top 3, Michigan. Out of those 3 guys, who would you have number 1, 2, and 3?
Say them again real quick. Sorry.
Bo Jackson, Pat Sullivan, and Cam Newton.
Just how you said them. Cam Newton, he needs to shut his trap. See what he said about Steve Smith and the Panthers and all that?
No.
You hear about that?
No, we asked you a question. We didn't ask you to ask us one.
Well, I'll say in that the order you just gave him. I don't give Cam Newton the time of day.
Okay.
Sorry.
You just don't like him then. You're not doing it professionally.
I used to.
Okay, Brian.
Not until he opened his trap.
Brian.
He started to fight at Public Sports Park a couple years ago in a 7v7 tournament. No, I don't.
Okay.
Bo had the better career, but if you're talking about just their Heisman season, Cam Newton should be number 1 on there. Unfortunately, I mean, he was that good.
Yeah.
They won the national championship. So if you're talking about their Heisman season, I would go Cam, Bo, Pat.
That makes sense. You're an Auburn guy, and you're right. His statistics were unbelievable. Without him, they probably go 8-4. He was unbelievable.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Well, being old school, I'm going to go Pat Sullivan because he was in an era where they didn't throw it as much as they ran. They ran it more. SEC was 3 yards cloud of dust.
Sullivan to Beasley.
And then I would actually go Bo Jackson because of the character of what he was when he was there, and then Cam or Scam, however you want to say it. But he's turned into a fashion designer now. But
he dressed a lot like Michigan Eddie. The hairstyle they did.
No, but I just think because Sullivan was in an era where it wasn't as much throwing now.
Yeah.
He may have made him throw a little bit more, but it was still running.
I would go the program. He cannot go against Bo Jackson. This is what he meant for the school, and then Pat Sullivan. To me, it's kind of a tie. But if he goes statistically, like Brian said, you can't take away what he did one year. It's unbelievable. Right. So, you know what? I'll do a 3-way tie. That way I'm politically correct. Michigan Eddie, what else is going on? What do you think about the Big Ten SEC making all these demands? And I think they're going to get what they want, don't you? The Big Ten and the SEC?
I don't really pay much attention to it because it changes like I change my socks.
Yeah.
So, it's just it is what it is, but it's gonna be the power two eventually.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I think money's ruining college sports, and NIL and all that used to be, if you're good to play sports, it was good enough just to get a scholarship and get paid for it. Now they want money and all that. When the school puts a lot of the money back into the students, grants, what have you, and these top-notch facilities, that's not good enough anymore. It's like when you give a kid something on Christmas and then get everything from Santa they want, and they're still not happy. That's what I feel like this generation has become.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just they should be thankful for what they got, and that God gets them with the athletic ability to play ball and to earn some money off their college bill. And that's not good enough anymore.
I want to say happy birthday to Steve Counts and Jared Lewis. Happy birthday, guys. Also, I got to tell Michigan Eddie, the question's for you. Are all Michigan fans very positive and happy-go-lucky like you?
It's a negative. Some of the most, to be honest, some of the Michigan fans are the most pompous, arrogant people I know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they are. Ann Arbor, white collar, all that.
You're not that way.
Yeah, because I grew up blue collar. My parents worked hard for a living. They weren't giving everything on a silver platter and all that. But then again, I think all fan bases are like that. So you have the good and the bad of all of them.
Yeah.
But I tell you, when I was in the military, some of the people that I didn't really get along with the most were Michigan fans, and some of my best friends were Buckeyes, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. My goddaughter's a Buckeye, so go figure.
She's highly intelligent. Highly intelligent. Kyle DeBose, happy birthday. Michigan Eddie, We love you, man. How you feeling, buddy? You feeling pretty good?
I'm all right. Going to the doctors and right now, and that's it.
How's your son doing? Every recovery coming along pretty good?
Yeah, he's doing good. We had therapy yesterday and all that. Got fed for his brace. So
when can he get back and going to camps and everything? When can he get back on the, back to work?
Hopefully April he'll be starting, and then hopefully he'll be pitching. Hopefully by the end of May, in June, and then hopefully try to compete for a job on the football team this summer and all that when they do summer workout stuff like that, because that's his goal is do what he can, So,
well, thank you so much for calling. We love you. We miss you. If you're ever around this way, come on in the studio, say hello.
You know where I live, Coach. All you guys know where I live. Give me a break. Come by and see me.
Yeah,
otherwise, I come see you, and then you stand me and Deanna up, bro.
But we have to get a pass from you to get in.
You're Deanna's.
You're on the guest list.
Oh, okay.
Hey, seriously.
I thought that was a restraining order.
Anytime you want to come be on the show, just get here about 9:30. We'll love to have you.
Oh, man.
Love to have you. We love you.
I'll be asleep.
All right. All right, man. We got to go. Thanks, missionary. Love you, brother.
Yeah. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, that's always some of our great people. We got so many. Turpro Pest Control. You want the yard to look beautiful? We can make it happen. Call Patrick. They'll come out. Your yard will look absolutely gorgeous. We don't thank Beef O'Brady for the Auburn update. Get out to see Pat. He's a wonderful city commissioner in Lynn Haven, but his restaurant's incredible. Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven today. If you're in Lynn Haven, get out to Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. 10 wings inside for $9.99. Food's incredible. Everything there is great, especially Pat. Also, don't forget about our great people, the Vandegrift family and all their partners down there at the local 115 in historical downtown Panama City. Go check it out. They got the old-fashioned salad bar. Get up and make it yourself. It's incredible. You'll love it. Try the gumbo. You'll love that also. It's a oyster bar. Sports theme. It's incredible. Oysters, crab cakes, steamed seafood, gumbo, soup, salads, you name it, wings, ice cold beer. Try the Tommy Oliver draft beer. You will love it. And we'll be right back with the legendary Mark McLeod.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The Paul Feinbaum Show.
I was talking to a friend of mine today, Braxton, who's in SEC circles. He said, listen, never been better in basketball, which we understand. He said baseball is even better than basketball. How many? 4 of the top 5 are in the AP poll are from the SEC? Baseball is better.
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Krispy Kreme Donuts is helping you impress those really special folks this Valentine's Day with a new donut collection called Hearts in Bloom. It includes 4 new heart-shaped donuts in a custom flower bouquet box. Better and sweeter than flowers. Pick up a dozen or 2 today. Available only at Krispy Kreme Donut in front of HCA Hospital, 23rd Street, Panama City, and on the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan. Krispy Kreme Donuts since 1937. Krispy Kreme Donuts, where you get them hot.
Introducing Lucid Stream TV. Get over 2,000 live streaming channels. Catch every game of the season with over 100 sports networks, including ESPN, ESPN Plus, the NFL Network, and Red Zone. Even pay-per-view events. Watch local network channels from most major markets throughout the country. Fox, ABC, CBS, and NBC. It's more than sports. Lucid Stream TV offers premium movie channels like HBO, Cinemax, Stars, 200 plus entertainment and news networks, or watch 10,000 movies on demand, including recent theater releases. Just $42 a month when you use the promo code ESPNNW at checkout. Watch on up to 5 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with family and friends. Lucid Stream TV gives you everything you want for less. Cut the cord, not the fun. To score Lucid Stream TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click on the Lucid Stream TV logo.
I don't always talk to Alabama fans, but when I do, I ask for large fries. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
When you got 90,000 people all chomping at the same time,
It's the Florida Gator Update with guest Mark McLeod. Insider information you can't get anywhere else. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Can I sing a song, please?
Hale hums the blues.
Go Gators! All right, we bring him on now, the great one, Mark McLeod. Mark, what's the best way the common folk can keep up with you? And I know you got everything going on. What's the best way to listen to you?
Probably at McLeod Live. Certainly Blitz Sports Radio. We're doing some stuff there, getting back to doing some stuff there. I had a guy who bought the site, so we're just waiting to see what he's going to do, and we'll go forward. But Blitz Sports Radio and at McLeod Live, McLeod Live.
All right, Mark, let's start with baseball today. And you look at, Dr. Ward's on this morning bragging on Florida Gators, and he should. Softball, baseball, basketball, everything, they're great at. And I really believe next year football is going to be great. I really do believe I think they're going to turn it around and be really good next year. And matter of fact, well, I'll tell you, let's get to baseball, then I'll go back to football.
Well, their bass fishing team is in third, so they're not first yet.
They still got another round to go, though. They're in good shape with bass fishing. Sorry about that, Mark. He's with Conrad. They got the days numbered.
Mark, add this to time spent in your life you'll never get back.
People are mean. There's a mean spirit.
Take two.
It's like being Michigan Eddie all day.
Oh, no. I just, or the rodeo team.
Yeah, Auburn's got a pretty good
I know.
Horse team, whatever that's called.
In Middle Tennessee, they got a horseshoe.
Can we ask Mark a question here?
Yeah, please. Thank you, Glenn. Talk about the baseball program. Let's get into the baseball first.
What you need to know? You just want to know.
Anything you can tell us. Today's been crazy.
He lost me there. I thought you had a question. Yeah. Well, for baseball this weekend, I'll just give you an overview. The big problem for Florida last year really was pitching. That was a big issue with Florida. They had plenty. They had bats. They had power. But really the pitching, too many guys, walking guys, hit by pitch, just serving up balls they shouldn't have served up, and just a lot of issues. But now you've got Liam Peterson, the big right-hander. He's really put on nice weight. He's only a sophomore. He was a freshman last year, but now he's 6'5", 220, so he's put on about 20 pounds. He went 6 innings, gave up only 2 hits, 1 walk, which was significant, 11 Ks. The opponents were only hit 105 on him, and they played Air Force, so we know a lot of the SEC teams, a lot of the Southern teams played the Northern teams that come down and want to get some work in. So it's not a strong weekend for in terms of scheduling. But then you had Jay Clemente come out, who's also a sophomore this year. He was a right-hander, got a lot of pitching work last year for the Gators. He went goes 6 innings, gives up 3 hits, 2 earned runs, struck out 8 opponents, hit, I think, 143 on the weekend against him. And then the big man, Pierce Coppola, 6'8", 245 junior. They've really been working with him over the past couple of years to try and get him right. And he goes out, the big lefty, 5 innings on Sunday, or in the doubleheader, the end of the doubleheader, I should say. Only gave up 1 hit, only gave up 1 walk, struck out 12. Opponents hit 0.063 against him. So it was a great weekend pitching for Florida. They got a bunch of young guys, Caden McDonald, a redshirt freshman out of Tampa, Aiden King, one of their true freshmen out of Jacksonville, who they really like and are hoping for big things for, or big things from. And then Jackson Barberi, a freshman out of Snellville, Georgia, who they're hoping for big things from. And they got all these guys some work out of the bullpen. Luke McNelly gave them some work out of the bullpen, the sophomore out of Milton, Georgia. He pitched well over the weekend and actually helped. He had a little struggles over the weekend with 1 inning, but came back last night in the big win over Jacksonville. JU, they won 10-4 over Jacksonville, and he really settled things down pitching-wise for Florida. So it a big weekend. Brody Dene, a kid out of Lakeland Christian who's been on the roster a couple years. He is one of the leaders in the nation in home runs. He has 4 home runs already. Hit 643 over the weekend. Hayden Yost with 500. They do have a couple guys they got to get going, though. They really 3 guys. They've got to get Cade Curlin going at second base. He had some struggles this weekend. They've got to get Brendan Lawson, a big freshman who they love at first base, going. I think he hit 214, if memory serves me correctly. And then Luke Heyman. They got to get Luke Heyman going. And I think they'll get Curlin and Heyman going. Curlin had his struggles last year, so. But overall, good weekend for Florida baseball.
And it couldn't be better for Florida basketball. I think they're 23-3 now, 10-3 in the SEC. I tell everybody every time I talk about Florida basketball, when they went into Auburn and did that really opened my eyes. Florida 85, Oklahoma 63. What's going on basketball-wise? Hearing anything? Any breaking news?
Yeah, everything's good. I mean, they're still missing Alex Condon. Hopefully they'll get him back. Todd Golden said hopefully they can get him back in a couple weeks, and that was a few days ago. So we'll see what happens with that. But Florida 23 wins. Florida, Auburn, and Duke are the only teams in the country that have 23 wins. So I feel comfortable that they're going to make the tournament, guys.
a little bit.
Do that.
Yeah.
And they've had a great February. I mean, that February schedule, we talked about it at the beginning of the month. It's brutal for 4 games, and then they got like 3 or 4 games where they were playing some of the worst in the SEC. So they're 5-1 in the month. Got LSU coming up, Georgia. Then next month they get Texas A&M, Alabama, and Ole Miss. And that game against Alabama on the road is going to be the one everyone's looking at. Even though the A&M and Ole Miss games are going to be tough too.
Yeah, the Alabama-Florida game is going to be huge for both programs. Florida right now ranked number 2 in the country. I think Bama's number 4. And of course, Auburn is the number 1 team in the country, which Florida just beat. Who knows? Mark, are you going to make it to Nashville to the SEC basketball tournament?
No, I'm not going to make it for basketball. I'm hoping I can make it for baseball when the SEC baseball tournament rolls around in May, but I won't make it to Nashville. That's the thing about Florida, guys, real quickly. I mean, the reserves have been stepping up. We've talked about the injuries, that Florida's at. Condon, and, you've had guys that have missed time, but Denzel Aberdeen, outside of last night, he did play well last night, 1 for 9 shooting, really struggled. But you go back his last 5 games, because he got his first start February 4th versus Vandy. His last 4 games, he's averaging 30 minutes a game, 14.4 points per game, 2.7 assists per game, and he's only turned the ball over on an average of 0.8 per game. So that to me is key. Thomas Hawk has played awfully well as well. His last 5 games averaging 30 minutes, 13.4 points per game, 7.8 rebounds per game, and he's got 4 assists per game. So, those are big for Florida. I told you about Klazar, the guy they really want to get going. He played last night, 23 minutes is the most time he's gotten all season against Oklahoma. He had 10 points, 2 assists. He hit 4 for 7 from the field and 2 for 4 from three-point line. And by the way, he's knocking it out. I mean, he had a game where he was 3 for 3 from three-point territory against Auburn. He was 1 for 2 against Mississippi State, 1 for 2 against South Carolina, and 2 for 2 against Vandy. He's a guy coming off the bench, and Brian can attest to that. I mean, you get a guy like that coming off the bench, you can just knock down 2 or 3 threes, and he's only averaging about 10 minutes a game. That's big when you can get a guy like that.
At one point last night, they had made more threes than they did 2-point attempts.
They're good. I mean, they really are good. They could win it all. SEC basketball is unbelievable. Baseball, softball. The only thing we're weak in is in football. The Big Ten owns us. Besides that, we're doing pretty good.
Careful, tear up your knees jumping off that bandwagon there.
That Hathaway Bridge.
Hey, you were mentioning, Hoover going up there. How many days you plan on staying? I'm gonna go. I might go up there for 3 days this time and watch. I love going up there watching those teams, all the different fan bases. With Texas being there, Oklahoma, you're going to have Ole Miss, Mississippi State's going to be there. Everybody's going to be there this year. If you're ever going to go, I think it's this year to go.
Yeah, this will be the year. This will be a great year. Adding Texas and Oklahoma, that's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know. It depends. I'll have to look at that. Again, it all comes down to sponsorship. And if you can get the sponsors, and man, you can stay the whole week. And staying the whole week is just a blast. It really is.
We'll do a lot of lunches together.
Yeah.
Remember last time I paid?
Hey, Coach, are you going to pull for the right team with the A on their cap this time?
Hey, I was watching Arkansas, Alabama play. Hell, I was pulling for Arkansas. I thought it was that. I did. I'd had too many ice cream cones up here. Did you hear about Hoover? They're getting ready to honor Phil Cobb, I think, at the SEC tournament. That's going to be pretty cool. Did you hear
I missed that.
Yeah, I'll tell you about that later. It's pretty cool. Hey, Mark, we got to take a break real quick. When we get back, I got to ask you a question about Florida football. See what you think about this. But anyway, we got Mark McLeod, everything you need to know about the Florida Gators. We get back. But right now, let's talk about some of our great people. Appreciate all of our wonderful people, especially the Manly home for the... Anyway, Turf Pro Pest Control. You want the yard to look absolutely beautiful. We can make it happen with Patrick. Listen to him every Monday, 8:30 right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. When you're down at Beef Brady's having that great special today, 10 wings on the side for $9.99, head on down to David Adamson. Get you some fine jewelry. They do such a... Rust, Amber, they do such a great job down there. Always got... They'll deal with you also.
Just let them take a look at your jewelry and give it a quick polish. Make sure the diamonds aren't going to fall out. Things like that. And find out what they've got to offer.
Let's do. Also, don't forget about Paparazzi Pizza. The place is incredible. You got a bar in there. It's unbelievable. You got a bakery in there. That is the best in Bay County. They make the cakes every morning fresh right there from scratch. Try the Paradise Cake, the Napoleon, and Glenn's favorite, the carrot cake's unbelievable. Chocolate, everything. The sandwiches.
No love
the
to
pizza.
The sandwiches.
They got great deli.
Oh,
they got it all.
The deli's great.
They're unbelievable. Go check it out on Thomas Drive. The legendary Paparazzi. I love John. He's a retired police officer. The guy's incredible. We'll be right back with the legendary Mark McLeod. 104.3 McLeod. 104. I can't talk. 104.3 ESPN Northwest.
Aerogonomical.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Yeah.
So now we're getting half of the playoff money that everybody else.
But it doesn't matter, though. Rob, it doesn't matter what the ACC won Big 12 because the other two conferences, they don't care. They own the network.
Well, that's why I'm saying is that the only fair way to do this is to have 2 or 3 big conferences and the hell with everybody else.
Weekday morning 7 to 9, ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Wednesday. For this afternoon and evening, clouds and a high of 56 with a moderate breeze at 14 miles per hour out of the north. Tonight, some clouds with lows around 39. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a moderate breeze and a temperature near 50. Moving into Friday, about the same with a high of 52 and mostly sunny. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
This is the sound of real people across Florida betting on sports. It's the sound of winning your bet, only on Hard Rock Bet. And if your first bet doesn't win, you get up to $100 back to try again. Hard Rock Bet is Florida's only legal sports book. Your home for betting hoops or any sport you choose. Download Hard Rock Bet now and get 2 shots at your first bet. Win, or you'll get up to $100 back as a bonus bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to play. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Bringing you the world's #1 auto brand is a lot of fun. Camrys and Tacomas, Land Cruisers and Grand Highlanders. Toyotas are just built to be better.
And that's exactly how we built Panama City Toyota, to give you a better experience.
Where your needs always come first. Where you can relax with a great cup of coffee or browse the Heritage Collection. Or we help you add the perfect vehicle to your collection. Come see us today at Panama City Toyota.
If your neighbor, employer, or grandmother were traumatized by comments made on the Coach James Hale Show.
One thing people aren't saying a whole lot about, and I'll probably get in trouble,
but just wanted to take this moment to say, get bent. We're live from the J. Michael Studio, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good. And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest. So I always want to brag on Wildcat. What a wonderful job he does every single day in here.
What do you want?
The music you play is outstanding. You make our guests feel special. Brian, Glenn always brag on you, and Mark loves you. we're just proud of you.
I like Mark.
Yeah.
When are you coming back up here, Mark?
I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know. He wants something from you, obviously. So I don't know.
He tried to get the rest of us to buy lunch.
You may have to come see me, brother.
Hey, Mark, seriously, when we get up there, they've built houses now, brand new homes, subdivisions near the stadium up there, and they've got a restaurant, the best pizza I've ever had at this restaurant. If we get a chance, I want to take you there. It's not far at all. It's right down the street. So hopefully I get to see you up in Hoover when the SEC tournament's being played. I want to ask you this. They did this at 2025 top 10 sleeper programs, football programs of 2025. And the number one team to say watch out for making the playoffs, the Florida Gators. They go 4-5. They started out 4-5. Then they turned it around. They beat LSU, which at the time I think was ranked like number 22nd. They beat number 8 Ole Miss with a true freshman quarterback, running backs. So Florida, watch out for Florida. I'm sorry, I don't remember if it was CBS or ESPN or whoever did this. I didn't write it down, but I think this is great. Number 1 was the Florida Gators. Number 2, first time making the playoffs, would be Texas A&M. Number 3 was Miami. Number 4, Georgia Tech. Number 5, Auburn. Auburn's recruited really well. They brought in some great players from transfer. And number 6, Kansas State. Illinois 7. Number 8 was Memphis. Number 9, Navy. Number 10, UNLV. I'm not sure about those 3. But look at that list. What's your take on that? Can Florida... Let me ask you this. We were talking earlier this morning. If there's any team, I truly believe this, if there's any team that can get in with an 8-3 record, depending on when those losses occur, it's the Florida Gators. Because of the schedule they play, I think they're the only team that can get in next year with an 8-3 record, especially if they're getting hot at the end of the year. What's your take on these questions? I know I asked you a couple of them, so what's your take on that?
Yeah. I agree with you in terms of Florida with the schedule and DJ Ladley.
Yes.
These guys, these voters love hotshot quarterbacks, and if he proves to have a tremendous year, that's a little added bonus for Florida there. The Florida State faithful, like Glenn Manley and everyone else, thinks whoever wrote this thing is drunk. So, that's probably that. But guys, I was telling you this, Coach. I did a little bit of a deep dive. I texted you this. I did a little bit on recruiting and went back and looked through the Napier era and seen where Florida is right now. And it was a good year for Florida recruiting. A really good year, not a great year, but a really good year. And then last year was a really strong year. Mm-hmm. So when you look at Florida right now, here's what I came up with. Going back over the past, going back to 2022. Florida has added 14 elite players. Most of them are now either sophomores, redshirt freshmen, or freshmen. 6 on the offensive side of the ball, 6 on the defensive side of the ball, and 2 special teams players. And they've added those next level guys. You call them B-plus guys or 4-star guys, whatever. Florida's added 10 of those guys.
Wow.
Now, they've added 4 sophomores and 3 freshmen, but most of them on the defensive side of the ball. So those are young guys on the defensive side of the ball. I think the positions where they've missed, offensive tackle, obvious. They need a big nose guy, big defensive tackle. They missed there. And the edge rushers they've got are 2 very young guys. When you're looking at Jaden Woods, who is a very highly regarded edge rusher who's only going to be a freshman, and then Cameron James from a year ago. But you saw Cameron James do some things, this year on the field for Florida. He was a really coming on as a big-time reserve. So I think that bodes well overall for Florida football. You got your quarterback, you got a running back room, you added 2 elite wide receivers in Dallas Wilson, Vernell Brown III. You still have work to do in the portal there. But I think it bodes well for Florida overall.
Absolutely. Got to give Billy Napier credit. You got to be honest, he's still on the hot seat. You always are when you're the head football coach at Florida. But I think they're going to do something special. That LSU game early in the year, I think that's a big game for both programs. Brian Kelly's talking about his roster being, a championship-type roster. They did a great job. I think they had like one ranking. They were number 1 for the transfer deal. they're supposed to be really good. So I think that LSU game's critical. What's another game that stands out to you that it's going to kind of determine how good they're going to be next year? Georgia? Who do you got?
I think Miami. Miami could be a big game. You know, Miami. You know, it's funny. All the Miami fans. The Will Harris thing. He goes to Miami, and Florida just got their guy, and that's coach cornerbacks Wilson, who was been at Florida before, but a young guy who's been a defensive coordinator now since then, and was going to be the defensive coordinator at Georgia State, but is now at Florida. But anyway, I think But Miami, they're revamping their defensive staff. So, what are you making fun of Florida for with staff moves? But I think you're absolutely spot on, Coach. I think that stretch of games, those 4 games, LSU, Miami, both on the road, back-to-back weekends. Then you get a week off, and you got Texas coming into Gainesville.
Wow.
And then you back on the road again at Texas A&M. So 3 of those 4 games on the road early in the schedule, that's going to be a real telling sign for Florida. And look, guys, they have to stay healthy. They have to have DJ Lagway where he needs to be, and they have to get those young guys on that defensive side of the ball who they're going to be counting on to continue to develop.
Nobody in the country plays 4 games in a row that tough. Nobody does. And you think about it, A&M is supposed to be a lot better this year. Texas is going to compete for the championship. LSU coach is talking about they got a great team. That's so again, they could go 9-3 and make the playoffs. That really could happen.
Yeah, and 3 of those 4 teams have either returning quarterbacks or, in Arch Manning's case, a really good quarterback who got some time last year.
Hey, I want to ask you this. The SEC, Big Ten, they're going to control the world. There's no doubt about that. Are you hearing this? If they go to 16, that SEC and Big Ten will get 5 automatic teams put in. If they go to 14, they're going to get 4 apiece. What do you hear? I'm hearing all kind of stuff. What are you hearing about this stuff?
Yeah, that's all in play right now. And they met recently. They're going to meet again. And I'm not sure when they're going to meet again, but they're going to meet again in the next probably 90 days. But, part of that is contingent upon what I'm hearing, the SEC going to a 9-game schedule, which is going to be grueling. If you saw this season, wait till you see if they go to 9 games.
Yeah.
But, so I think there's so much in play for that. But again, the SEC and the Big Ten, because of where they're at right now, they control it. And, I'm a guy who, while I love this old Southwest Conference, I love, the old Pac-12, Pac-10, seeing all that and having all these different conferences. That's just not the trend where it's heading for college football. And there's even a column, a guy thinks that there's going to be more expansion coming up in the next 2 years. So that's his take. And guys, it wouldn't surprise me a bit.
What about FSU Clemson real quick? Does SEC try to get to them, or do they get out of the ACC, get to the Big Ten or the SEC, either one of them?
Right now, I have heard nothing in terms of the SEC wanting really any. The teams they want to get are still North Carolina. That is one school they would love to have.
I agree.
The SEC.
Another state. I get it. Hey, Mark, thank you. So I know you're busy. Thank you so much for coming on. People love listening to you. We love visiting with you, and I can't wait to Hoover. All those lunches we'll have. You're paying for them. We're going to have a great time.
We will. These guys sitting there should join us around the table.
No, they all. Hey, you talking about gator arms? When we go out to eat? My back is hurting. Let me put it that way.
He's so full, his eyes are brown.
Kick your feet up, folks.
All right, we're out. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
This is the first year that I've actually kind of felt old. When you're young, your parents say, "Oh, I know the rain's coming," or your grandparents, I can tell that the rain's coming because my bones are